If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that sub button for more amazing content. Now, let's jump straight into the video. What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl Bofina1 bringing you guys yet another YouTube video. I haven't done a POV in a little while. Just been chilling, I guess you could say, kind of just taking it easy. So I figured, you know, might as well go ahead and give you guys a little bit of content. So right now I'm just out kind of at the usual spot. I just got done doing a little bit of Uber Eats. It's been a while since I've done that. I've actually started doing, trying to get back into Uber Eats and Amazon Flex. You know, those are, for me, pretty decent, at least in my area, right? Everyone's area is different, but they've been pretty good in terms of, you know, I guess you could say like side hustles, or whatever you want to call it, you know? So I figure I'd do a little POV for you guys. We are getting close to pretty much end of summer. A lot of people are getting ready to go on back to school, so let me know, like, for those of you maybe that got kids, you know, how's, I guess, back to school shopping going for them and everything else, you know? So yeah, let me know. I know with back to school shopping and stuff, you know, places like Amazon and a lot of other stuff is probably going to start picking up a little bit more in terms of, you know, I guess you could say, just like volume, all that stuff. I know a lot of people say like the summer drought, you know, they talk about the summer drought a lot and how, you know, the summertime, it gets boring or it dries up. There's not a lot of work, but I mean, I still think there is work, but you just might have to drive to the work. And that's something that I did kind of have to do because of where I'm at, being in the suburbs. The suburbs don't pay good. Oh, excuse me, the suburbs pay good, but the city pays 10 times better, right? So, you know, sometimes you got to make that drive. The nice thing is, you know, being independent contractor, a lot of stuff you're able to write off, you know. Obviously not financial advice, but, you know, being an independent contractor, you are able to write off a lot of different things like mileage, cell phone usage. I mean, just a lot of stuff like you're able to write off. So, you know, a lot of times people say, oh, well, you're driving so many miles doing Amazon or doing Uber. But the thing is, you're able to write off a lot of those miles, because essentially how you have to look at it like this, right, is your car is the business, right? Like, you're running a business. Your car is the business. And then, yeah, your car is the business. And like, let's say it's Amazon. Amazon is the customer, or Uber Eats, right? Whatever restaurant you're picking up from to deliver to the customer, they're the customer. And so kind of once you get that mindset, you know, yes, you will put miles. Yes, that is a thing. I don't think you can really, you know, avoid that per se. Like, I don't think you can like get around that. But the thing is that you're able to lower your taxable income, which is something that when I was doing Uber Eats a while ago, I didn't even know. Wow, she's like really, I don't know. Can you guys see this? This woman right here, she's like trying to make a right. She's trying to get into the left lane, but she's literally like damn near blocking the whole freaking intersection in order to like do so, which is, it's kind of crazy too. I don't know what the hell is she doing. I guess she's trying to get all the way over. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you're able to write off. Like I said, I've learned a lot since I've started doing, you know, oh, I guess she's not. Okay. Oh, she is. Okay. I've learned a lot since I've started, you know, like delivering and doing Amazon Flex, that, you know, you're able to write off a lot of miles. Some people do like the manual, I guess, deduction, where they deduct every little thing, where they deduct, you know, like, you know, they deduct any maintenance on their cars, they deduct gas. You know, most people, I would say, probably just do like the standard deduction, which is probably the best way to go, where you get 67 cents for every mile that you drive. And yes, that might not seem like a lot in the beginning, but over time, as you're driving, right, because you're gonna get blocks, especially doing Amazon, like you're gonna get blocks where you might be driving, you know, a 50-60 miles for a day, just in one 3-4 hour block, right? So with that being said, you know, you're able to write a lot of those miles off, and, you know, they do help you. Don't let anybody tell you any different and make it seem like they don't, because they do. it helps when it comes time for tax time because it lowers your taxable income. So, you know, that's one thing that I will say about versus having like a 9-to-5, because I do have a 9-to-5, but that is one thing that I will say that is, I guess you could say, unfortunate, that you could be driving to your job, right? Driving a long drive. Like I was driving when I first started the company that I'm at now. I was driving 23 miles every day, one way. Well, not every day, but one way. So I was driving 46 miles per day, but like I wasn't getting anything off, you know, my taxes. So essentially I was spending all this money on gas and like I wasn't getting any write-off for it, you know. So that's one thing I've learned, obviously, and of course there's different pros and cons, you know. For example, like, right, not having 401k as independent contractor, not having Social Security, but I guess I'm talking about it from the perspective of someone doing it kind of like as a side hustle, on top of, like, you know, your main job. You know, I definitely think it can be lucrative if, in keyword, it goes back to if you're in the right market. If you're not in the right market, and that's like anything, that goes for Uber Eats, DoorDash, all these apps are trash. Like if you're not in the right market where you're able to, like just where people tip or people even just use the apps to begin with, right? Uber Eats, DoorDash, then it's not, you know what I mean? It's not going to be worth it for you. So yeah. And people multi-app, like that's the other thing, is like I feel like with this gig work type stuff, like you really have to know how to multi-app. If you don't know how to multi-app, like it's going to be hard, because every app has its, you know what I'm saying? Like every app has its prime time of the day, or whatever you want to call it, time of the week. Like, you know, like for example, Uber Eats, right, is really big, probably more so on, I would say you can find work any day. Well, I guess in my market, I can find work any day, during the lunch and dinner crowd, but particularly on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, you're able to find a bunch of stuff, right? Like, you know, because a lot of time it's the weekend, people don't necessarily want to cook. Just the concept of, like, maybe people got paid Friday, so they're like, hey, I'm gonna go treat myself to, you know, some Uber Eats or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of, it's time of the year, I guess you could, or time of the week, time of the day. Amazon, right, is different. It's you know, you're delivering packages and stuff. So with Amazon, I mean, like, the better paying blocks are going to be the ones that nobody wants to take. So like the early morning blocks, right? The blocks that start at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. The blocks that are like late at night, that are like 7 to 9 or, you know, 7 to 10, right? You know, weekend blocks, I've noticed, depending on the time of day, you know. So it's all about like supply and demand. I think that's like the biggest thing, is like, what is the supply, what is the demand? And if you're in an area, right, where maybe a lot of people don't want to do Uber Eats, or a lot of people don't want to do Amazon, or maybe you're in an area where like it's there, but there's just not a lot of people, maybe that like they don't have cars, or whatever the case is, you know, you can monopolize off of that. So that's why I always tell people, like, you know, a lot of this stuff, you have to multi-app. Like there's even apps, like I signed up with another one called Deliver That, you know, where you're essentially delivering catering orders to clients, different people, right? Like, you know, and they pay well, like $35-40 an hour. So it's a lot of stuff out here, and this is a whole other discussion, a whole other video, but I feel like that's part of the reason why so many people, you know, I just feel like that's why so many people, in all reality, they really just don't want to work in the stores. They don't want to work in these retail stores where, like in my town, minimum wage is $14 an hour, right? Base rate for Amazon is $18 to $25 an hour, and I've seen as high as like $30, $32 when it surges. I've heard that it can go up even higher during like peak, like Christmas time, Thanksgiving or so, like Black Friday and on. You know, so, and I get it. People say, oh, well, you know, you have to use your car and you're putting miles on the car. Yeah, like that's true. But like, if I'm just saying from my perspective, right? If I'm making $14 an hour at the store, at a retail store, a lot of these stores, they end up sending you home because they don't have enough work, or because you're part-time, right? You're not going to get the hours. Like, you know, they're going to cut the part-time people because they got to give the full-time people their hours. So you end up working barely 10 hours a week, if that, and then they have you coming in every day, and then it's like, what the hell, man? Like, you're coming in every day, but you're only working a couple hours every day, and they send you home. So you're still wasting, and depending, like, right, like, obviously this is all like, you know, geographic, right? Depending how, maybe, like, let's say you're at a retail store, I don't know how far it may be. You might have to take the bus. Like, if you don't have a car, you might be taking the bus, the train, driving, right? So it's like, you're still spending time, and you're still not even getting paid for all these different, you know, like, your time, in a sense. Where it's like, you could have signed up for a block with Amazon and, you know what I'm saying, made guaranteed money. So, and not that this is like a sponsor with Amazon or Uber, but this just kind of letting you guys in on what I've kind of been doing. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely make money with these different gig apps, especially if you, like I said, if you know how to multi-app, which is the biggest thing. A lot of times people say, oh, gig work doesn't work. You know, it may not be that great. Certain apps may not be great in your market, but you gotta learn how to, like, you gotta learn how to multi-app. And that's the biggest thing. You gotta learn how to multi-app, because just like a job, right? These apps, they can deactivate you. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think about that. These apps, you can be deactivated. I mean, I had an issue, was it last week, when I did an Amazon Fresh order. I picked up the groceries, everything was cool, right? And I had an issue where I couldn't scan, like, for some apparent reason, and for those that do Amazon, that you guys know about this, but like, when you go in to get your route, block, whatever, you have to scan your ID, and then the phone, like, it like links it up, I guess you could say. Yeah, well, my phone was not it wasn't, like, their system was not scanning my ID. So I had to call support, and I ended up, the last, like, delivery I had ended up being late. So, you know, Fresh is like Amazon's, like, you know, that's where they make a lot of money. So they ended up dinging my freaking account, saying that the package was late. It was late by 5 minutes, and I had to fight for it, and they got it off. But I'm just saying, like, you know, you could be deactivated for multiple, I guess you could say, like, offenses, in a sense, like that. And so that's why I said, like, you know, you have to have multiple apps, because the problem is that you could be deactivated, you know, just like a job. You could lose your job. And so if you don't have other apps, and you only rely on, let's say, Instacart or Walmart Spark or whatever, then, you know, you're going to be in pretty bad shape. You know, it's the same thing how they say people shouldn't just invest everything into a job, because if, you know, these companies, like we've seen, they're willing, you know, they're ready to let people go. They're ready to start doing cutbacks, and you get cut and you don't have no other streams of income, you're going to be in a bad spot. You know, because you got to wait for unemployment. You know, unemployment, people are having a hard time with them trying to fight people, you know, so it's just a lot. But yeah, I mean, I can go on and on and on, obviously, about this topic. But yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. I think that's going to wrap it up here for this POV. I just wanted to get on here and just kind of, you know, talk to you guys for a little bit. But let me know, are you guys doing gig work? If so, what apps? You know, how many hours are you doing it? Are you doing it part-time? Is it your full-time thing? You know, what does it help you supplement in your life? Is it maybe your rent? Is it your car note? You know, so let me know down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.